Listen up.
This just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
Well, Envy came in this morning talking about Dr. Oz and how Dr. Oz saved somebody's life. And Dr. Oz himself is talking about what happened at Newark Airport after someone collapsed and flatlined.
The flight had been delayed, so I was with my wife and one of my daughters, and I left the daughter with the luggage to go get, the stuff that was coming off the carousel. And she, about 5 seconds later, yelled, "Daddy, come quick." And when I turned around, I realized what had happened. A fairly burly gentleman who ended up being 61 years of age had collapsed, fallen on his face. There was no pulse. And so the first thing you do when there's no pulse is you give the patient a pulse by doing CPR. So getting top of his chest, compressing as hard as I could.
Wow, that's scary. He said the man had no pulse. He was turning a bad color. He had foam coming out of his mouth when he started doing CPR. And fortunately, Dr. Oz was able to control his airway, and the defibrillator arrived. And that's when they shocked him at the highest power possible, and it worked.
Well, dropping the clues bombs for Dr. Oz. I mean, that's divine timing, right? Like God will have you in the right place at the right time, in the right situation sometimes, to help people.
Hell yeah.
And I hate that the internet has made me cynical to even think that this could be a publicity stunt. I'm looking to see when it's sweep week.
Sweep week, man.
When is the new season of Dr. Oz premiering? I hate that
Dr. Oz?
That's Dr. Oz. Shout out to Dr. Oz.
I hate that the world has made me that way. I hate it.
It's horrible.
All right, Elon Musk says he wants to create a city in Texas, and he wants to call it Starbase. Space Base. I'm sorry. Why does it say Starbase here? It is Starbase. Okay, so creating the city of Starbase, Texas is what he wrote. From thence to Mars and hence the stars. So he's kept those details to a minimum, but he wants to, according to reports, incorporate Boca Chica Village, a small Texas town where SpaceX is building their deep space rocket, and make it that.
All right, he got the paper to do it.
He definitely does.
Go on and build your town. Go on and build White Conda.
He's doing a lot, though. I ain't gonna lie. He's trying to do stuff at Mars.
Space, Starbase. Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Well, would you? I'll talk about that later. Stock. All right. Tekashi 6ix9ine is being sued for unpaid security bills totaling more than $75,000. So apparently he had all this protection, and that was in late 2018 before he got locked up. But he didn't pay those people from before he went to jail.
Yeah,
so now he's being sued.
Yeah, I mean, if you're him, you have to keep up with that bill.
Absolutely. That's the one you don't want to be late on.
That's like life insurance. That's like regular people throwing their middle finger to the IRS. Like, I ain't paying y'all. Okay, yeah. I'll show you who's boss then. See how your life is.
Yeah, so they had around-the-clock security for him. They said it was $85 an hour during the day, and at night it was $127.50 an hour.
I mean, that's another reason you got to keep that money going, right? Because when the money gets low, and you somebody like him, if that security goes away, boy, you food.
Well, you started seeing a little bit. I don't know if you remember. At first, you used to have like 10, 12 security guards. Now I think it's like 4 or 5. But I just wish him the well. I wish him the best. I hope nobody hurts that long.
And I wonder how many insured security companies will, protect somebody like that, because he seems to incite things often. You know what I mean? That's not what security is for. Security is for defense, not offense.
Well, according to Tekashi's lawyer, Lance Lazaro, he said Tekashi's booking agency at the time is responsible for covering the tab, and that should really be going to them and not to Tekashi. He has nothing to do with it. All right, Chad Johnson, he broke down over losing his mother on his I Am Athlete podcast. He was talking to Brandon Marshall, Channing Crowder, and Unc Fred Taylor. And in this episode, he talks about the importance of having conversations about mental health. That's what Brandon Marshall was really discussing. And here's what he's had to say about that time of his life.
One of my lowest moments happened, 2-3 weeks ago when I got that call, you need to come by. And I knew there was a problem because I got a call from an immediate family member. Wait, you normally don't call me. And I called from 3 other people. Wait, how you even get my number when my number changed in December? So I knew it was an issue. And I called my brother right away. And then he answered the phone crying. I just hung up. I already knew what time it was. And so then I mentally prepared myself to bury my old girl.
Damn, man. Sending healing energy to Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's something we all probably going to have to do one day.
Mm-hmm.
He also talks about their final interaction and said that she was upset with him for not going out to dinner with his family for his birthday with him for going out to dinner with his family for his birthday and for not inviting her to that dinner. And she had sent him a lot of text messages, and he said she was letting him have it. So it kind of hurt him too. That was the last exchange that they had. It wasn't like I love you or anything like that. And so that bothered him as well. And then when they asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? And he said he was at a 7. Here's what he said.
That train has to keep moving. So if I'm at a 3, I'm flatline. I can't flatline. There's no time to flatline. I have time to grieve. I've done my grieving. And I will continue to grieve over and over. I will continue to cry over and over. But that train has to keep going. So I'm at a 7.
Well, the train doesn't have to keep going. Like, you don't have to keep it moving. Like, it's perfectly fine to stop and be still and, give yourself a chance to grieve. Busyness is a trauma response. There's plenty of therapists and psychiatrists to tell you that. Like, the tendency to keep it moving after experiencing something traumatic isn't always productive.
But maybe that's his way of getting over it, though.
Yeah, but it's 9 times out of 10, it's a trauma response.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report.
And salute to Brandon Marshall, too, man. Mental health warrior. Everybody at Project 375, man, fighting to eradicate the stigma of mental health in our community, man. Drop on the clues bombs for Brandon Marshall. That's my guy.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon Marshall. He actually sent me a box for all you guys, but since he sent it to my crib, y'all all got deaded.
You gotta stop stealing everybody's stuff, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ty Mopkins, too. He sent me a starter jacket for you, too, Yee, but you got deaded. It said Brooklyn.
Why did y'all let Envy back in the building?
It said Brooklyn on it, and...
Wasn't Envy locked out downstairs?
I was
and y'all
locked
let him
out
back
downstairs,
in?
yeah.
We locking him out.
Why'd you let him in?
We locking him out after this weekend.
Yeah, lock him out.
Because he's going to Atlanta for All-Star, and he's going back down to Atlanta for a real estate seminar. So I don't want to see him for 30 days.
30?
Got to be 30.
What you going to do for 30 days without me?
The same thing I've been doing. Living my life like
And be
it's golden.
celibate.
All right, we got front page news next. What we talking about?
Yes, well, let's talk about it. I mean, look, Envy is, but you did get the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll discuss what's going on with the vaccine because apparently soon enough we'll all be able to get it.
All right, we'll talk about it when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.